Okay, the power linguist here, giving a critique of Dr. Arguelles' latest video about polyglottery, polyliteracy, where he's giving a speech to I don't know whom, but he's there representing more or less an academic standard, although he starts out by saying that what he's talking about is musings and his reflections about being a polyglot and his passion for learning languages, and it doesn't have any sort of academic citations, or it doesn't meet any standards that it would meet, and I'm going to approach him as another academic. Anything that's put out there academically is immediately open for critique and to be torn down and to be basically looked at for its methodology. And in this case, he doesn't have any methodology. These are just basically his ideas that are unfounded. He makes a lot of assertions with no evidence. This is not empirical. He's run no studies. He's done no research on this. He's not even done questionnaires, which would be the easiest thing to do if he were to do this. So he admits readily that this is not an academic paper because he knows he'd be laughed out by trying to present it at a peer review place, because he doesn't have what I said before. There's nothing backing it up. He readily admits that polyglots are people who learn languages because they want to, not because it's functional and because they're in a situation where they do. Those are multilinguals, which is what I've said before. Multilinguals are functional people who can actually function in language. He, for some reason, wants to give a romantic notion to polyglots as being somehow superior because they're doing it for the love of it. And something pure about that, some sort of Aristotle sort of idea to this, you know. I don't go along with that. The multilinguals are better because I care about functional language usage, since that's what I come from. My background is from that in linguistics. He lumps together all types of linguistics into one thing, and actually it's a gigantic, disparate amount of fields within a larger discipline. He doesn't know about field linguistics. He hasn't done a grammar sketch or phonology sketch, because field linguists learn other languages by analyzing them, by doing what I just said, those sketches. And I know for a fact he hasn't done them because he only works with scripted languages because he's a great book scholar. He's a philologist. Those people don't work with over 90% of the world's languages because they can't handle it, because they don't have scripts. And again, it's this orthography that's holding up everybody. So he asserts that polyglots are better language teachers than normal teachers. This because they know many languages, so they've obviously learned how to teach themselves, and they could teach you. This is akin to saying that a decathlete is the best person to teach you 10 different sports. It's just unfounded, untrue. He hasn't proven the rejection of the null hypothesis in anything he said. He's just asserting things that were basically wishful thinking. He spends a lot of time talking about his dream of having a polyglottery institute. I don't know about this neologisms that he keeps using. Other words already exist, and to use the English discipline, those people who have English literature degrees and such, they hate these neologisms. There's no reason for them. Okay, multilingual is what the term is, multilingualism. He wants to see this institution that we don't know where in the world it's going to be. So he leaves out a lot of logistics and financial concerns that must be addressed right here, right now. Okay, where is this institution going to be? Who's going to accredit it? So he said that graduate students, undergraduates, and just people who want to go there as a retreat could all learn different languages. Really? Who's going to accredit this so that it counts for graduate students or undergrads? Who's going to fund this? Who's going to build it? Where is it going to be located? All these are crucial elements that have to be answered before you can attempt to do this. This is sort of a pipe dream. And he again asserts that polyglots are better at teaching languages, at learning languages. This is not true. He has not proven it. He has cited no research. He hasn't done anything except tell us from his own background, which again is in only scripted languages. He says that he's retired from learning new languages. I have known this for a couple of years. He communicated this to me personally in an email. fine. It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but trying to promote his dream of a polyglot institute, of course, which he would be head of, which is really what he's looking for, is this position here, doesn't amount to anything, because he's not proven any sort of methodology. There's no methodology that he's promoting, no specific methodology. He's not promoting a curriculum, which he's going to have to do. He's not promoting a definitive way that this would somehow be useful to students or anything. And who are these people who are going to come to it? I guess he's sort of looking at it like the 19th century or before. Only rich people who had nothing to do went to the university, because really university was not a job training area. That only happened after World War II, but I'm not going to get into all that aspect of education, higher education. So he's sort of trying to do a return to the classics, sort of, which is apparent in many of his videos. But the factor is that he has presented in no way, no shape or form anything that validates what he said in any way. His personal anecdotes carry no weight in academic circles, and he knows that he cannot present this sort of paper at a peer-reviewed academic meeting anywhere. Nobody's going to take it. No one's going to publish it as a journal article either. He's cited nothing. He's done nothing. So basically, I'm pretty let down by this, because the linguophiles, which is what he's also promoting, he's promoting really linguophiles, which is already a word. You don't have to start with the polyglottery, polyliteracy, all these things that somehow try to imbue them with some sort of sense of loftier prestige. You know, this is just it's a prestige semantic attempt. The linguophiles don't have anything backing them on what they're saying. This is akin to other people on YouTube that I've talked about before. And as the power linguist, I'm bringing you the truth. Okay, you need evidence, you need to cite studies, you need to cite research, you need to bring in independent, basically researchers to look at these. I guarantee he's going to show nothing in regards to the polyglots being better teachers. That's not going to happen. But his assertion of this is just, as an academic, he shouldn't be trying to make these wild assertions about that. He shouldn't be trying to say that polyglots are somehow more prestigious than multilinguals. He hasn't proven that. All these things are just an editorial, basically. And as he's appearing there as sort of the token academic person, you just can't do that. So basically, he could never get this published in an academic journal. He could not present this at an academic meeting anywhere. And he should know better than this. So basically, there's nothing there for you. There's nothing there for you other than him talking about his dream of having a polyglot institute, which we don't know where that would be, how it would be constructed, who's going to build it, who's going to be there, who's going to pay for it, who's going to accredit it. None of that. It's just a dream. As I said, it's sort of a return to the classic sort of educational system that existed over a century ago. Anyway, so the Power Linguist, real name, real photo, if you want to comment on any of this. So, the red ball, the Swiss ball, stability ball. All right, I'll be back at you next time with some hard-hitting truth, because that's what I do. I'm not weak.